Hello everybody, Rob Westall here. I hope you're all doing well. It seems like ages ago when we could all gather together in the same building and sing praise and worship together to our glorious King Jesus. But I would like to offer you an opportunity to do that, even though it'll be from the comfort of your own home, and be a part of my next worship album. It's called the 1000 Voices Project, and basically I'm trying to get a bare minimum of 1000 voices on this next record, all recording yourselves worshipping away to some new songs that I've written. And it would be my honour if you would take part and help me to spread the word as well, as we create a unique brand new sound of praise to our King Jesus. Details of how you can get involved are all on the following webpage, www.robwestallmusic.com/1000 voices. You don't have to consider yourself to be a fantastic singer, but just worship, just as we would on a Sunday morning, where we all worship together and sing together as one. Everybody is welcome to take part, and it would be great to have you on board. God bless you loads. Here's the website address again. I've just realised that my mic was on mute, but good evening. Good evening and welcome to a very special edition tonight of Social Distancing Live. So please say hello and where you're watching from. We've got Janice Jones. Hi Janice, my mother-in-law, for those of you who don't know. Hello to Gavin from the Rhondda. Oops, what's going on there? Hi. How? Hi to Gavin from the Rhondda, hope you're well. And hello everyone, says Anna as well, who's on the comments as well. We're going to have Tim and Ellie Button on in just a moment. But as you know, I like to showcase artists here on Social Distancing Live from all over the world, and I was approached by a Facebook friend of mine called Faisal Massa, and he's a worship leader in Pakistan, which greatly encouraged me, and he has done this song and he asked if I would play it on the programme, which is my honour to do. And he's from a group called GCE Christ Band, and this is his song Oh Lord, so please enjoy, and you can check them out on Facebook at GCE Christ Band. This is from Pakistan, believe it or not, Christian music from Pakistan.
love you, I love you. Follow me, you are the lonely. I know you are the one. Follow me, you are the lovely. I love you, I love you.
There you go. That was "Oh Lord" by Faisal Masar, a worship leader in Pakistan, and GCE Christ Band. If you want to check them out, GCE Christ Band. I didn't even know that there was a youth Christian music channel in Pakistan. So that was encouraging to find out. So thank you, Faisal, for getting in touch. And thank you for sending us your fantastic song. It's great to know that that's going on in that part of the world there. Hello to everybody then. So who's on tonight? Let's have a look. So there's Derek Giles. Hi, Derek. Hope you're well. Good evening from Ammanford, says Jen. How old? Hi, Jen. And thank you very much. Jen has shared the programme, so thank you very much. Hello to Al and Kathy Nicholson in New Zealand. Hope you're well. I was going to play golf tomorrow at some point, but I've done my shoulder in. I was going to get out for an hour or two, so that's gone. So gutted. I was looking forward to that. It was in lieu of my birthday. Obviously, wasn't able to go out and play because of lockdown, etc. And I hope that the courses in New Zealand are treating you well. Good evening to Priyanka Kumara. Good evening and praise the Lord, everyone, says Priyanka. Absolutely. And Chris Lewis there seemed to enjoy that one. Toon, he says, hi Chris, hope you, Beth and the family well. Hi to Frank Westall, my dad. Hello, Dad. And hello to my mum. How are you doing? There we are. And Gavin said, should send this to Steve Quantick. He'd be well into that guitar solo. So Steve is my guitar player and MD of the band. Yeah, he definitely would, Gav. He'd love that. Fantastic. Really well shot video. It was indeed, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Hello to Caroline Gardner. Hi, Caroline. Welcome to Social Distancing Live. Brilliant. Rob Westall, Pakistan Tour 2021. I don't know about that, Gav. I don't know. I'd have to pray about that. But I just want to share something with you as well, because if you remember last week, hello to Rachel. Hi Rachel, how are you doing? This is quite bizarre that you just commented, because I'm just about to share a link for something to do with Lolita Gill, and I know that you're a great fan of Lolita's. So Lolita has a brand new album out this Friday, and I promised that I would share this link with details of how you can get the album ahead of time. So if you go onto Lolita's website, I'm just going to pop the link in now. Lolita, of course, was on last week. So there you go. I've just popped the link into the comment section, so you should see it across all of where we're broadcasting from. You can pay a bit extra and you get downloads straight away, and you can listen to it before Friday if you can't wait that long. It's a fantastic album. The songs I've heard of it so far are absolutely phenomenal, and I know that it'll bless you. And by buying it, you're going to bless Lolita, not just financially, of course, but her heart is just that you're blessed by sharing her music. So fantastic. So that's www.lolitagill.com/merch if you want to check that album out as well. I've also got some Christmas cards that are going quite fast now, and I'm going to pop a link in of how you can get those. If you go to there we go, I'm just popping this in the link now, www.robwestallmusic.com/merch. I've got these Christmas cards here. I'll just pop that there. So I'll just pop that over to the side so it doesn't cover my face. So these I've got 40 left. So 10 of these Christmas cards went today. They're available for, you can get a pack of 5 of these for £4 and a pack of 10 of these for £6. There's only 40 left, as I said. 10 went last night. So we've also got 13 versions, 13 of these cards which come with a CD of the Saviour of the World Christmas single as well. So you've got a music card as well. If you want one of those, please direct message me, and I will get them to you. But just to let you know, if you want to order those Christmas cards, if you like sending Christmas cards, and also you want to convey the message of hope in a creative way, then you can use this card to maybe it's to somebody who doesn't know Christ, and you can say, look, this card represents that Jesus did come at Christmas and he was a baby, but it also represents his life, because the cross on the card means that he died for you, and heaven, of course, invaded earth at Christmas time. So there's a little, quite a creative way, perhaps, if you're sort of a bit nervous about talking about God or talking about your faith, perhaps a Christmas card like that can help. Or if you're quite passionate, either way. But those are available. Not many of those left. So please get involved if you'd like one. There we are. Fantastic. So Rachel says pre-ordered Lolita's album a week or so ago. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Awesome. So Gavin, I'm not. No, I'm not. There we are. And that's fine. Brilliant. But I'm hoping that she will be on mine. There we are. Great. So we have got a very special programme tonight. We've got some fantastic music to come from Tim and Ellie Button, who I hope now we can go to any second now. But before we do, very quickly, I'm going to tell you about what's coming up this week on Social Distancing Live, what's coming up the rest of the week. So we have this week, we have got tomorrow evening, we have Tim and Ellie Button, of course, tonight. They're coming up very shortly indeed. And then we've got Matt Kane, who's a West End singer, starred in Motown, the musical, in the London West End. And Bean Baker's given us some live music on Friday. And I should have a very special edition on Saturday. I'm just waiting to hear the date. I'm going to tell you who it is. Philippa Hanna has agreed to come on Social Distancing Live, and that will either be this Saturday or next Saturday. So I'm just waiting to firm that up. But we'll be having Philippa Hanna, who's got a fantastic brand new album out there called Stained Glass Stories. So that's very exciting indeed. And so there we are. There we go. Now, without further ado, let's meet Tim and Ellie Button. Hello. How are you? How are you both?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Now, last time we spoke, you were up north somewhere in the north of England, but I gather you're down south now. You're southern softies now.
Yeah. Well, we lived in Portsmouth for the first stage of our married life before we went abroad to Moldova, and then we planned to move up north, but things changed throughout lockdown. So now we are based in Malden in Essex.
Malden, and
hometown. That's where I grew up.
That's your hometown, is it, Ellie? And so, but is that? I know we spoke off air about this, but that's near Colchester and Chelmsford for those people who are geographically challenged.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably you've got 40-minute train journey from London. So,
wow, so it's quite good links then. That's what's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Tim and Ellie are our special guests tonight, so please, if you've got any questions for them, or even if you want to say hello, please say hello, and I'll pass that on. Anna says, hello, Tim and Ellie. She's in the house. I'm in the man cave, or the shed, as I like to call it. There you go. And thank you very much for... Now, Tim and Ellie, like Anna and myself, we like a good board game or card game or whatever. And you introduced us, you sent us a gift during lockdown, which we thoroughly appreciated, and we love it. It's called the Bean Game. And we're not on commission for it or anything, but it's a fantastic game. So thank you very much for that. Just want to publicly honour you for that, because it's brilliant. I still haven't beaten Anna, by the way. I can't beat her. She's too good at it. And my youngest, not my youngest, my oldest two, Benjamin and Bella, they've mastered it, even though the age guide for the game is far older. They've mastered it, and we've had so much fun with that. So thank you for sending us that.
Oh, you're welcome. And to be honest, Rob, we got introduced to this game, and we couldn't remember who bought it for us originally, and we were trying to remember who introduced us to this game at some point in our life, and we started playing it, and it's literally like we became bean evangelists. And this bean game, all of our friends we kept linking up with kept buying this game, and everyone started loving it, especially abroad in Moldova. All our American friends, it took off like wildfire. And so I actually think we should be on commission for this game.
Yeah, I mean, spreading the gospel and the bean game.
That's it.
And
get much better than that.
it's a winning combination, if you ask me. Anna says it's an amazing game. Kids keep winning now. Well, I don't know. You seem to always win, darling. To be honest with you, I don't have a domestic on air anyway. Vincent Rickett says hi, Tim and Ellie from Birmingham. Vince from Birmingham says hello. Priyanka Kumar in London says hello, Tim and Ellie. Sorry, it's just not loading up there. I'll let that come in there. And then Gavin Owen says, could you play the Bean game live on air against Bean Baker? You could bake him online. I like that, Gav. Gavin likes a good pun like myself. I like that. Very good indeed. There's 57 varieties, of course, of the Bean game. Anyway, I'll move on now. So guys, there we are. So probably your mum, says Hayley Sharp, in terms of who introduced you to the game.
No, we introduced my mum to it, Hayley.
Right, okay.
Don't let her claim that one.
Awesome. Well, enough of the Bean game. So what's happening in your lives now? Because obviously you're down south, and you know what's going on with you. Tell everyone, what are you doing in the south of England in Malden?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're going to be leading a church here, which is really exciting. It's actually a church that I grew up in, which is really special. So yeah, really exciting.
And they were our sending church to the mission field as well. So, you know, we know a lot of the congregation members really well. They've prayed for us, they've supported us, they've backed us, they've been there for us. The previous pastors were actually my youth pastors growing up in Hull.
Wow.
So there's a real strange backstory, and then they helped.
We actually met through them.
Yeah.
And they married us and everything. So
wow.
it's really special.
An amazing couple.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fabulous. So when does that role start, and when does that begin?
It's kind of starting now. We're through transition time now. But officially we start in December. So
wow,
yeah.
just in time.
Like everyone though, Rob, like with COVID and stuff, it's a really strange time to take on a church.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think any church leader has a clue where it's going and how it looks from here on.
Yeah.
So I think it's an ideal time to kind of learn the ropes and just seek the Lord for what He wants it to look like, really. But yeah, we're on a massive learning curve, steep learning curve ahead, but our hearts are in it 100%, so we'll see what God does.
Marvellous, that's fantastic. Well, if you're a praying person, guys, please pray for Tim and Ellie. It's no mean feat leading anything, let alone a church. And often, I know we joked earlier, often people in such positions don't go seeking it either, and I know that was true for yourselves. You never thought that you'd be leading a church, did you?
No. Not at all.
Well, I know we've got some music that we're going to share tonight as well. There's also a Christmas appeal that you're involved with, which helps people in Moldova, where you were missionaries for some time. But I'd like to start this evening with a song. It's called Sparrow, and you released this earlier this year, Tim and Ellie. What can you tell me why you decided to choose this song to cover, and why you wanted to release it?
Yeah, this it's an old hymn, His Eyes on the Sparrow. I can't remember when it was written, actually.
A long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
Public domain.
Yeah,
public domain.
Right.
Yeah, I wrote an EP a few years ago, and I actually wanted to cover the song on that EP. Thinking about maybe doing a duet with it, but it just wasn't flowing. So we let it go, and while we were writing songs for this album, we decided to, have a go at His Eye on the Sparrow again. And the arrangement just came really quickly. We didn't look at a duet in the end. And our amazing producer in Moldova, he did an incredible job just bringing the song alive. And yeah,
you'll know this yourself, Rob, when you're writing songs and when you're arranging music, sometimes you can hit the wall and the wall is really tough because you almost just want to give up. And sometimes songs just flow. Sometimes they come really quickly, with His Eyes on the Sparrow, we literally sat down in our Moldovan apartment. We were jamming it out. You know, we messed around with the keys because Ellie's really hard to find the key for. And we sat there, we tinkled on it, and with my limited piano skills, you know, especially in the style of gospel, a lot of the versions of His Eyes on the Sparrow are gospel style. So my piano skills were like way beyond par for what they needed to be. They weren't anywhere near they needed to be. Anyway, we sat there, we played it, and immediately the arrangement came. There's a really cool key change in there as well. That just came straight away, and it was like, there needs to be a key change there. And it was almost like the Lord was smiling, going, yep, you're ready for this song, and this is how it's going to sound.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
And we literally we played it to Dima, our producer, and he seemed a bit don't know what the word is. He kind of just seemed really chilled with this song, because all the other songs he was having to really come up with, you know, different chord progressions, different arrangements for the songs to make them fully functionable. And with this song, because it was already a pre-existing song, he kind of had a bit of, I'm just quite chilled out with this. And it got to literally a couple of weeks before studio time, and we were still, you know, this is the song that needed arranging, and we were thinking, okay, how's this going to sound? Like, is our original idea even going to sound remotely like what Dima's going to do? And Dima literally flourished through the process, came back with this incredible version where we were like, that's exactly what we felt.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's where we got to in the
And
end.
it was actually the hardest song to sing
Yeah.
through the whole album. It was the one that probably took the most takes.
Okay. Well, you did need to reveal that. Never reveal such trade secrets. You got in one.
Yeah, obviously all the other songs, they were just like one take wonders.
Yeah.
Obviously, in
Yeah,
the studio.
yeah.
No, honestly, it was one of those songs where it was like, okay, let's come back to this another day.
But this one was 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was about 4, you know.
Oh, hey, that's
4
good.
days.
That's really good going. Anyway, so let's have a listen to it. So this is based on an old hymn called "His Eyes on the Sparrow." Is that correct?
Yeah.
Brilliant, guys. This is Tim and Ellie Button with Sparrow. Please enjoy. Pray that this blesses you. Oops, didn't play. There we go. This is. I'll do it again. This is Tim and Ellie Button with Sparrow. It's not playing ball. Here we go.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come?
Absolutely beautiful. Sparrow by Tim and Ellie Button. Guys, absolutely fantastic. I'm not alone in thinking that as well. Sorry. Alan Cathy Nicholson in New Zealand says beautiful. Janice Jones says lovely. Jen Howells, wow, wonderful song. And Helen Button, any relation? I know full well that it is.
No.
She says, hi Helen, by the way, hope you're well. She says, I love this song, love the arrangement, but love the sentiments of the words, particularly in the present time we live. Love you, Ellie. Oh, and Tim. Brilliant.
Aw,
Love
we
you too, mother.
And Vincent Ricketts, hi Vincent, welcome to Social Distancing Live, says excellent. Fantastic, it really was beautiful.
Thanks, Vince.
And that was a wicked key change, by the way, as well. You weren't wrong on that. That was, as I say, I'd like to say it's a Welsh thing, but I think it's a me thing. It was banging.
Banging.
You can keep that and use it if you want to, you know. It might be useful in your new venture.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, brilliant. So, Sparrow, and you released that earlier this year, didn't you? And then, of course, the album came out. So how has everything gone with all of that? Because it's such a... I'm learning... Well, I'm on my second album now, trying to finish it off, and it's no mean feat, is it, releasing an album? It's not just a case of recording and singing the songs and all that. There's all sorts of... There's a nightmare list of admin and stuff like that you've got to do.
Yeah. To be honest, Rob, we never planned an album. As I said before, we were on the mission field in Moldova.
Yeah.
We were there to do God's work. We didn't think we'd be doing an album out there. Like, it was literally on the last thing we thought of. And we didn't want to actually just write songs for the sake of releasing. You know yourself, when something is anointed, when the Lord has his hand on something, it just ministers to people. It just reaches where it needs to reach. And for us, we had a bit of a kind of a dry period where we were struggling to have anything creative happen, just because we were just into this hard country to live in. And then one day we started worshiping at the piano, and the songs started flowing. And when we prayed about what to do with them, we knew that we needed to record. Well, it started off as one song and ended up as being, I think, I can't remember, I should know, maybe 7 or 8, 6, 7, how many? 7 songs. So yeah, we ended up leaving the mission field with a fully produced album. And
Incredible.
to be honest, because we didn't have an agenda with it, we kind of just trusted the Lord with it. We released them in kind of staggered throughout lockdown, just trying to encourage people, maybe one a month. And it's reached a lot of ears, and it's really funny because it's not down to us one little bit. We've just been blessed to have our talents that we've given to the Lord used, really. It's actually completely about him. Every message in the song, it's about him. They're his songs, he gave them to us. So it'd be wrong for me to kind of say, it's been a success, because only the Lord can judge that. But we've been faithful with what the Lord has given us, and now we just release it and allow him to use it wherever possible.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and there's some fantastic songs on there as well. I know we've played them on this show before, and I even did a cover of My Beautiful Child, and you very kindly covered Show Us Your Glory, which we've played actually this week on the programme as well. Banging, thank you very much. and it's stunning. I mean, the artwork, everything's great, and it really is, guys. If you're looking for a Christmas present or something like that, please bless these guys. They're full time in the ministry. I'm going to pop the link in just a second of where you can go and buy the album of Ellie's website as well. But before we go on to the more music, I thought it might be best to speak about perhaps the Christmas appeal first, and we'll probably end with the music, because it's always nice to end the programme with some uplifting music. So you served in Moldova. Can you just remind everybody of, and obviously some people tuning in for the first time tonight, of what you did over there and what your role was?
Yeah, so for some of you might not know where Moldova is. When we shared with some people that were going to Moldova, they said, "Oh, that's a nice place to go on the mission field, isn't it?" Thinking it was the Maldives. And believe
Uh,
me, Moldova and the Maldives are
They're
very
very
different
different.
countries. But it's, landlocked between Ukraine and Romania, ex-communist country, um, extreme poverty, but within that, there's some incredible hope. There's a lot of young people that are really being ambassadors of the kingdom, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening there, really exciting stuff. So we felt the call of God to go out there initially to work with anti-human trafficking,
wow.
but before long, when we went out there, we just felt the Lord lead us on a journey to lay it down and actually just be ourselves and function where He needed us to. So once again, the agenda went to one side.
Well, interesting you said that. Gavin Owen commented earlier. He said, speaking of Moldova, the Red Community, an anti-trafficking ministry based in Cardiff, were plugging a live prayer event online for trafficking survivors in Moldova with an organisation called World Share. Was that anything to do with what you're involved with? Or?
No.
No, not directly, but
Wow.
I mean, we're now involved with a couple of our friends from America. They're missionaries in Moldova, and they've been there for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I think really God called us to Moldova to help the missionaries that were there, that were struggling, because they were going through a time where they were changing over the charity they were working for, basically. And they end up now working for a charity called Into Freedom, which is, it's kind of anti-human trafficking, really, isn't it?
like it's front
Because it's
line.
front line.
Yeah,
And basically, they decided that instead of having like a big house full of girls, it's just not a family life for the girls. So they now rent an apartment that they have 3 or 4 girls staying with them, and they treat these girls like their own daughters, and they're like early adult age. So they're basically, they have these girls staying with them, and they help them find work and look after them, and they've become like our sisters because we've spent so much time with them.
Wow.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, and the important part of that is, obviously every bit of missionary work is good because it's doing the Lord's work. But I think one of the things we realized was just how much people needed to experience the Father heart of God.
Yeah.
And the last thing that these young girls in Moldova needed was to be part of a huge, organization or institution, whatever you want to call it. These girls needed a family life, but also needed long-term investment. They didn't need more people coming into their life, then disappearing, coming in, disappearing. So long-term investment is so key. Let alone for the healing side, as they're learning what it's like to live independently. They need a family. God intended us to be in families.
Yeah.
I mean, just picking up on a point that Gavin made, it seems to be like a massive problem over there then, the trafficking. Is that down to the poverty, obviously,
Yeah.
as part of it, I suppose.
A lot of children there, it's really, a lot of them live with their grandparents as well, because their parents have moved abroad. So a lot of children are kind of seen as like social orphans.
Yeah, social orphans.
Yeah. So they have parents, but they neglect them. And this can lead down to finding jobs in the wrong places, moving abroad thinking they've got a decent job when really it isn't. Yeah, it's really sad, really, really sad.
Yeah, I won't disclose, the names of the countries or anything, because I want to make sure I'm protecting those involved. But some of our friends that work for an anti-human trafficking organisation doing incredible work, but they were in this. The lady who runs this organisation was in this country. She ran a house of prayer, local house of prayer, and she would be in a cafe or a restaurant, and she just realised there was like an extreme amount of Moldovan girls that were in this restaurant, and it was a long way from Moldova. It wasn't next
Wow.
door. So she started to see, actually, there's a problem here. Why are all these girls ending up in this country? And that's where she actually started getting to the roots of it. She started going to
Wow.
Moldova, putting on anti-human trafficking camps to help educate these girls on, hey, you need to be careful, because, yeah, they may have got genuine jobs in restaurants, but what about the other 98 girls that ended up in the trafficking ring that you're never going to hear of them again?
Wow.
This is serious stuff. There's over 45 million in slavery today.
Wow.
Over, probably way over, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. And you know, in the modern world as well. In terms of COVID, are you aware of how COVID has impacted the country as well?
Yeah, that's probably why we've kind of taken the step forward with this Christmas appeal. We've seen these houses. We've seen the houses in the city. We've seen the houses in the villages at the best of times, and it's heartbreaking. Quite simply, heartbreaking. And when you know the hearts of the people that live there, it makes you even more compelled to do something. Do you want me to go on? Shall I just share about the Christmas appeal?
Yeah,
Just kind
sure,
of linking on
sure.
it.
Yeah, I'll pop the link in the comment as you speak now. I'll pop it in.
Sure. So, we were really privileged when we were out there to work with some fantastic organisations, fantastic independent missionaries, fantastic locals, fantastic churches. Like, there's a lot of people helping in Moldova. But when we came back in February this year, we actually had 2 visits, probably maybe even 3, planned to go back to Moldova before September, to be honest. And we realised, obviously, with COVID happening, the chances of us getting out in 2020 again were pretty slim. So we felt almost paralysed. But with the Lord, there is never paralysis. Okay? So we seeked him and we said, Lord, will you show us how we can help Moldova this Christmas? And it was just literally one afternoon, we felt the Lord just drop hampers of hope on our hearts. Hampers of hope. And we immediately thought of a wonderful couple in Moldova called Rachel and Vitaly. They're there long term. Rachel's an American, but she's married to a Moldovan. And they're part of a ministry called Levere. And it's basically an after-school club for some of the most impoverished children in the city centre and surrounding villages of Chisinau, the capital.
Wow.
And they not only provide a safe place, bearing in mind some of these kids aren't from safe backgrounds, their home life isn't safe. So they provide a safe place for the kids to do homework. They provide a hot meal to make sure they're getting the nutrition they need. They provide arts and crafts. They provide counselling. They provide, music outreaches. They just anything you can think of that is going to invest in these kids long term. So we knew of this work, and we knew that we wanted to do something with Hampers of Hope and Levere. So basically, long and short of what we're doing, we started off with 10 families because we know COVID has hit the UK people hard as well. We didn't know what a fundraising effort this year would look like. So we started off with 10 families. We've spoke to Rachel and Vitaly about partnering, and they said £45 would allow one amazing hamper for a family. So not only the child they work with, but their family they live with, which is amazing. And that would contain everything from, the essentials like rice, corn flour, oil, big hamper alone, plus a Christmas hamper full of extras, like cake and pate, the stuff which they wouldn't be able to get usually. So we set a very modest target of 10 families, and we just put it out there because the Lord told us to. And less than a week in, we've had to extend it twice. We now have over 30 fully funded families this Christmas, and it's going up every day. There is 40 families that this ministry Levere work with on a day-to-day basis. They're investing, so it's not just a handout. This is a long-term investment that Levere are doing with these kids. So the appeal is simple, really. We need to get to 40 families.
And what is the figure at the moment?
I think it's I haven't checked today, but I think it was 1,500. And I think the target is 1,800 on the GoFundMe page. And we've got some, external to the page that have offered to support as well. When we hit the 40, that's where the real fundraising starts, because it's all right, these families having hampers of hope this Christmas, but we want to make sure every single one of those families has firewood to get them through the majority of the harsh winter in Moldova, which is a big ask, but that's where we're going, because it's what we can do at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, guys, I've put the link in the comment section how you can find out more and donate to the Christmas appeal. It's called Hampers for Christmas. What's the title of it, Tim?
Hampers of Hope.
Hampers of Hope, for those guys in Moldova. And as Tim says, about 300 quid you need to raise to cover 40 families that Levere work with, and then the sort of mission is to get firewood to help them through a really harsh winter there. So guys, if you could give something, put me and Anna down for one. We'll definitely get one for sure. And Priyanka Kumara says it's absolutely amazing what you guys are doing, and a lot of love there on the emoji. There we are. Guys, that's absolutely fantastic. So I've put the GoFundMe link, and there's more information on the GoFundMe page as well, Tim.
There is, yeah. You can actually, if you want to make it personal, just inbox myself or Ellie as well. We'll just have a chat.
Sure.
So you've got the link, but you can just talk to us. We're nice people.
I can vouch for that. They are very, very nice people. And Caroline Gardner gives you a love heart emoji. Al and Kathy Nicholson in New Zealand, they say, bye for now, Rob. Lovely to meet you, Tim and Ellie. Off out shopping. Love to the family. Take care. I love Al and Kathy. They always come on and they're always off to somewhere exotic, because New Zealand are quite well off in terms of COVID. They've got something resembling normal life. So they're normally going to a golf club or somewhere like that, or the beach the other day. So take care, Al and Kathy. Lovely to have you on. So guys, we're gonna move on now to some more music, and the song that we're going to listen to is, as very excited to announce, has been playlisted even, for UCB2, which is one of the biggest Christian radio stations here in the UK, which is fantastic. I know that'll get out to loads of people, which is obviously the aim of everything. So this song is called Stronger. Ellie, do you want to tell me a little bit about the background behind it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to put it into words, but it's basically my journey moving to Moldova. I had to push through a lot of fear, and the lyric to the chorus is your love is stronger than my deepest fear.
Wow.
And for me, when I moved to Moldova, I wasn't really aware of the deep fears I had in me until I was taken out my comfort zone and moved to this difficult place to live. And it was then revealed in me this fear that I was just holding on to. I had this irrational fear of bad news, that something bad was happening back home.
Wow.
And I wouldn't be able to get back home in time. I was even scared of my phone ringing, thinking it was bad news. It was just horrendous. It was just constantly weighing me down. And I think it was just stemmed from, there was a few bereavements in our family before we went to Moldova. And I didn't realise how much it had affected me until we actually got there. And it was just exhausting. I couldn't get on with my mission work as much as I wanted to. I kind of had to put a front on that everything was okay. But really, behind closed doors, I was just really, really struggling with this fear, this deep, deep, deep fear that something bad was going to happen, something I just dreaded. You know, when you just have this feeling of dread that something bad is going to happen. And that's not from God. That is not from God. Fear does not come from God. God is of love. He's of joy. He's of peace. He's of a sound mind. And he wanted me to walk in that peace. He wanted me to walk in that freedom. So I had to move to Moldova to get that.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just amazing. After a few months, I just opened up to someone in Moldova who I trusted. And she just said to me, I can see you're struggling, Ellie. God has told me that you're struggling. And I just burst into tears, and it was kind of like a healing process for me to open up about it, though, because I just felt like a bit of a silly, just trying to struggle with all these different things, and I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't
Yeah.
know how to express it. So actually talking about it was a real healing process for me. And she was amazing. She was like my mum in Moldova, and she just prayed with me, and she gave me exercises to do, like meditation and like Christian meditation.
I'm glad you said
And
that.
yeah, and through that process, I just discovered, God is stronger than my deepest fear, and I can overcome it with Him if I just hold His hand. If I keep turning my
Fantastic.
eyes to Him, I can overcome it. So yeah, that's what this song is all about, and my journey of pushing through that fear.
Well, brilliant. I just think that's so relevant for this time that we're going through, and I mean, I've had a fair few wobbles during this COVID situation myself. So guys, if you're at home and if you are struggling with fear, I pray especially that this blesses you. This is Stronger by tonight's very special guests, Ellie and Tim Button. Here we go. This is Stronger.
When I find myself drowning, I'll remember that I'm just sinking in your love. When I find myself failing, I remember that I need to wait upon your word. And when I find myself hiding, I can lift up my eyes and believe your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear. How my soul can breathe in your presence, and I can't comprehend the love you have for me. You shine upon my life as you guide me. Your word is a lamp, and I'll walk in your truth. And when I find myself fearful, I can lift up my eyes and believe your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear. I can overcome with you. 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 Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger. Your love is stronger than my deepest fear.
Fantastic. Stronger, the latest single by tonight's special guest, Ellie Button, and her husband Tim as well. And Jen Howells says, hi, Ellie and Tim. Are you both on YouTube or only Ellie? Thanks. I've just looked and can't find you both. Thanks very much. God bless. Continue to use you both. I've put a link to Ellie. I've put a link to your YouTube channel. Have you got another one as well, or is it just that one?
No, I think it's important to add that you do not want to hear me sing, so it's all Ellie. All right.
But we write all the songs together.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of like a musical sort of famous act where the sort of one of the songwriters is sort of behind the scenes, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe somebody out there can, but Tim, that's very much you're behind the scenes in terms of the.
I love being the grey man, honestly. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's not true though, because when we go on tour, Tim plays the piano and he does a lot of talking, a lot of sharing. So he's good. We're a team.
That's really
My
good.
wife's
That's really
very
good.
encouraging, Rob.
Well, of course, everybody on Social Distancing Live who's tuned in this week and last week has seen you both, and obviously the music festival we did, have seen you both performing together, obviously. There we are. So Caroline Gardner says, yeah, I'm trying to do this the right way. Yeah, beautiful. Is that right, Caroline? I hope I did it. I hope I did that well. I give it a go. And then Priyanka Kumar, you're stronger than my deepest fear. By the way, that is worship. It's a worship hands in the air emoji. I clarified that earlier last week. And your love is stronger than my deepest fear. Amen to that. Beautiful, says Priyanka Kumara. Thanks very much, Rob and Anna, says Jen Howells. Thank you very much, Jen. And Dream Team, says Priyanka Kumara. Oh, thank you very much. And Vincent Rickett says, perfect love dispels all fear. 1 John chapter 4 verse 18. Absolutely spot on. And you know,
Vince.
Absolutely, Vince. Thank you for coming on, by the way. And you know, fear is such an issue anyway for lots and lots of people. I think everybody can relate to being fearful at some point in their life, but especially now, it's so prevalent, isn't it? It's come to the surface probably more with the COVID situation. Obviously, I'm not going to get into politics, but some political things that have been going on recently as well. So, I mean, in terms of, you mentioned when you sort of confided in your Moldovan-based mum, so to speak, that helped. Do you find that songwriting helps as well with that regard in terms of getting things out and expressing yourself?
Amazingly, yeah, definitely. I think because with songwriting, you're expressing what's in your heart that you didn't even realise was hidden inside there. You know, and I feel like as well with some of my songs, it's not just me singing about God, it's God speaking through me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, declaring to me, you know, you're my beautiful child, walk in that freedom that I've poured out for you. And that's the beauty of songwriting with God, is that it's not just us speaking about him, but he's speaking through us.
Yeah, because also the deep fear that you explained that you had before we listened to that song, and then you listen to the song, and it's actually quite a powerful declaration, isn't it? So it always, I mean, I wrote a song during lockdown called Jesus Rock on Which I Stand, which is on the new album, and I wasn't feeling how the song sounds, just like that, the example of the song we just heard from you, Stronger, and your story. You know, you said that you cried your eyes out, etc. But that song is really powerful, and yeah, your love is stronger. It's very definite. So it looks as if there's been a journey that you've gone on in writing that song, and the process that they've been through as part of the healing, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I feel as well, I need to say that getting through over that fear, it hasn't completely happened. You know, I still have to work through that daily, but it's so much better than what it was. But as well, don't feel like you can do it on your own. You know, to work through those fears that you're facing, those deep fears that you're facing. Like for me, speaking to someone about it was a huge part of my healing process. If I hadn't spoken to my mum, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. I'm just so thankful to God that He brought her into my life, that I was able to just open up about it. And like, don't keep these things hidden inside. You know, God gives us people for a reason. God gives us friends for a reason. It's important to speak out about how you're really feeling. Don't keep it in. It's just such a healing process just to express what is really going on inside.
Fantastic. I think that's sage advice. You know, it's such a mentally challenging time as well, isn't it? And it's so important to find some confidants you can share stuff with. Sarah, I'm so sorry. I'm going to mispronounce your surname here, or perhaps I'll just leave it. But Sarah says, Sarah's actually a guest on our program next week.
Oh, hi,
She
Sarah.
says she's watching on YouTube. Says lovely testimony. I can relate, as I went to Kosovo as a missionary at 19 after the war there. Praise God, He's given you a heart for the Moldovan people. God bless you, Sarah. We'll be hearing more of Sarah's story next week, of course. But nice to hear from you, Sarah. Thanks for saying hi. And yeah, it's incredible where the places that we get led to go to, isn't it? And with I just want to come back to the fear thing, because for me, fear has always been there. I've been a very fearful person throughout my life. And early part of the lockdown in March, I started watching a lot of the news. I was consumed by it. And in the end, that used to be my job. I used to have to cover the news and monitor the news. I just had to switch it off, and it was doing my head in. However, I've still had the odd wobble, and I found that turning to the Bible and prayer, and often a song will come out of those times. I don't go into those times seeking for a song. I go into those times seeking for healing and sort of release, because I don't want to feel like that. But I just find it fascinating how you can feel quite sort of upset and low and quite vulnerable, and yet you can come out with a song like we've just heard, like Stronger, which is so declaratory and powerful and assured. For those people who might not know, where does that assurance come from? Where does that sort of I can't think of the words. Where does it come from?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that, Rob, because just before you asked that, what I felt was on my heart was probably the answer to that question. And Vince shared it earlier. Perfect love casts out all fear. And what I really feel at the moment is that as we go into lockdown 2, who thought we'd be talking about this? Like,
sequels are never as good as the first one either.
Yeah.
But the truth is, what I feel like the Lord is trying to show us is that the perfect love we receive comes when we know our identity as children of God, knowing without His love we are all orphans. We were adopted into His sonship. We are sons and daughters of the Most High King. And for me, like, this is just constantly a revelation to me, and it fills me with peace, knowing whatever happens on this earth, I'm rooted in the love of Father God, who loves me as His child, and He has adopted me. Okay? He goes after the one. You, Rob, you might be the one. I might be the one. Ellie might be the one. Anyone else listening tonight might be the one. But we all need to know that we are not orphans. We're adopted. We're sons and daughters of the King. And that fills us with perfect love, because it comes from a perfect God. Okay? So I think I just want to encourage you, if you don't know that love, speak out to God, cry out to God, and ask Him to fill you with that love and remind you of that identity, that you're adopted into sonship. And just cry out to Him, reach out to Him.
Absolutely. And it's incredible, actually, since we came back on air, the start of the Welsh lockdown, which I think was the 23rd of October, somewhere around then. Obviously now the lockdown's been announced in England where you are, and we are broadcasting right up to the December when that ends. the theme that's come through many of the programs, and what many of our guests have shared, what I've shared, the songs, is God's love, and that his arms are open wide, and that nothing can separate us from his love if you know him, if you've got a relationship with him. And I just want to bring a few comments in. Vince says, so good, Ellie, for us to talk, and helps our mental well-being. Absolutely. Priyanka says, couldn't agree enough. You are brave for sharing, Ellie. And Priyanka says, not many people are honest and open. It helps others who are experiencing the same situation. So glad you opened up and shared your feelings. But going back to what you said, Tim, the theme that we've had recently is that God's arms are open wide. That's come through song lyrics. We were also broadcasted tonight at Gateway Church Abergavenny's Facebook page. Pastor Chris Vaz, week before last, one of his slides says the Father's arms are open wide, which obviously feeds into what you've just said. And it's one thing to know that you're loved and that you can enter in. So if you take the example of the curtain being torn in two and we can enter into the Holy of Holies, it's one thing to know that, but when you've suddenly, the doors are flung open and the King is there on the throne, the next thing, and this is perhaps where we could talk a little bit more, is taking that step. Sometimes taking that step, we suddenly can become very aware of ourselves, very aware of our imperfection, and very aware of our past, and that can stop us and prevent us from entering into the presence of the King and into that freedom sometimes, I think. So if people are struggling with that and accepting that love, the arms are open wide, the doors are open, they can enter into the arms, they can have a kutch, so to speak. What would your advice be to people who might be thinking like that this evening, who are perhaps gripped by that fear or something else?
So,
sorry to put you on the spot, by the way.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I feel if we go back to the beginning, we were made in God's image. He made us as he wanted us. That didn't have fear. We didn't have anxiety. We didn't have mental health problems. Problems, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean it as a problem. But that wasn't in existence. Okay? It's the fall that we've all heard of so many times that created this mess that we're living in. But what we need to remember is that our identity hasn't changed. Who we are in Christ and who we were from the start has not changed. Okay? So we can have real peace knowing that our DNA has not changed. We were created in God's image. He hand designed us. You know, it's like each of our lives is on a beautiful canvas, a separate canvas, and God is hand drawing this amazing image of what our lives are going to look like. And it's not just a one-off thing of, yeah, God, I need a touch from you. I want to hug you. I want to, experience your love. This is a daily prayer that I really feel we need to get used to doing every day, spending time with the Lord in private and just sitting at Jesus's feet, talking to Jesus. Sometimes we can get engulfed with religion, or you've got to pray for an hour before the Lord moves. He's a father. You know, a father just wants his child to come and sit at his feet, tell him his worries, tell our struggles, tell every bit of fear in us. And, the Lord can deal with that. The Lord has got big enough shoulders to deal with our problems. But actually, it's the transparency. We need to get used to being transparent, not holding in all our faults, not trying to put on a front of everything is okay. It's one thing, as Ellie said, talking to a friend. That's so important. But there's one thing that's even more powerful, and it's talking to God about where you're at. Being real, being organic with God, being transparent with God, because he is waiting for you. He's waiting. His arms are open wide. He just wants to embrace his children like never before. And he can fill you top to bottom with peace. He can fill you top to bottom with love. And we know his love is perfect, but it doesn't have to be a one-off. We can walk in it daily. And then when the trials of life come, if we're rooted in his love, if our roots go down deep enough that when the storms come, we're not being, shaken. How amazing is that? But once
Absolutely.
again, it's nothing to do with us. It's to do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I said, I've got a book I can see on the shelf. It's Billy Graham's autobiography, and it says, "Just as I am." And it's like, if one of the kids comes up to me, I don't care if they've got a snotty nose or if they're dirty or whatever, and I love you, Daddy, want a hug? Yeah, they're gonna have a hug, and it doesn't matter. I just love them just the way they are, and it doesn't matter what they've done. I just love them unconditionally, and that is an imperfect love, by the way. It's a very good one, but it's nowhere near. God is perfect. He's the very definition of love. So if you're tuning in today, and anything that we've said at all has resounded with you, perhaps you're feeling fearful, perhaps I'm speculating you, perhaps you're feeling fearful, perhaps something's stopping you from entering into God's presence and going deeper and further. Perhaps something's stopping you from entering into a relationship with him. Perhaps something's stopping you from returning to him, coming back to him. Perhaps something's stopping you, if you do know him, from going deeper. Perhaps fear's been a bit of an issue during this uncertain time, unprecedented times. Then please, private message us. We're broadcasting tonight from at Gateway Church Abergavenny Facebook, so if you're watching on there, you can private message the church. Somebody will get in touch with you. If you're watching on any of my streams, I'm sure Tim and Ellie won't mind as well if I pass things on to them as well. We'd love to speak to you about any of this. If any of this has resonated with you at all, please do not delay, because how long we've got, we certainly don't. We've been reminded recently of how much time is precious to us. And I just want to bring in some comments here. So I don't know if you saw that, Tim, but Priyanka says, I could sit here and hear you preach all day, Tim. Clap, 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 clap. Amen. Ellie Button says, nothing we have done or said in our past, and nothing we will do or say in the future, will change how much God loves us. He loves us unconditionally. So grateful for this. Absolutely, Helen. And brilliant. I can see you've got your mother's genes there, Tim.
Oh,
she put it really well.
Ginger, so I hope not. No, I'm joking.
Marvellous. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's always wonderful when you come on, and I know that people have been inspired and blessed by what you've brought, your music, your story, and your insight. So thank you very much indeed. God bless you guys. If you're a praying person, please pray for this couple as they start out on the venture of, and the vocation even of leading a church. That's no mean feat, in Colchester. What's the name of the church, guys, so we can remember you in our prayers, and pray for you?
So it's CGC Malden, and it's part of the Skylark International Network. Fabulous.
And how can people get in touch? We've got the link to the Moldovan Hampers for Hope. Is it? Have I got that right? I was gonna say Hope for Hampers, but I can't do my H's because I'm Welsh, so it's not a very good thing. Caroline Gardner says you're in our prayers. Thank you, Caroline. Yes, so the link where you can get to the GoFundMe page, and we just need to raise £300 to make sure that all 40 families that work with the charity in Moldova are blessed with those hampers, but also it means that we can get on to raising money for that firewood. The winters are very, very harsh in Moldova, as the Welsh football team found out in the 90s when they lost a football match over there. I always remember that. So guys, how can people follow you on social media and YouTube? I know that Jen said in the comments she wanted to follow you on YouTube. That's Ellie Button Music, is it?
Yeah, I think regarding Ellie's music, anything to do with Ellie Button Music, I think Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, you'll find her. But also privately, Facebook, Ellie Button, Tim Button. Just get in touch,
Great. God bless you. We've got a link also to Ellie's webpage where you can get the album. Fantastic album. I know many of you have been blessed by the music tonight, so and we're blessed the last time and in the music festival as well, so please honour these guys. This is they're full-time in the ministry. Please honour them and buy an album or two. Great stuff. Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you so much for having us, Rob. God bless you, mate.
No worries. And if you've got any Christmas songs, let me know, because I hope we'll have a Christmas special. So
we'll have a think.
Let me know. Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Well, I'll see you off air in just a moment. But for now, good night. God bless. Thank you very much.
God bless, guys.
Marvellous. Well, Tim and Ellie Button there, and this week we've got Tim and Ellie Button obviously are on tonight, but tomorrow night we've got Mr. Matt Kane on from, it's actually 8:30, I think he'll be on tomorrow. 8:30. Matt has sung in the West End, he sang in the musical Motown. He also writes worship music as well, and he'll be sharing some of his music with us, some of his incredible story as well. And then on Friday, somebody that Ellie and Tim know really well, Bean Baker, is on, I think that's 8 o'clock. I'll confirm on social media if there are any changes to the times, but 8 to 8:30 normally we'll be on air. Bean Baker is going to be doing essentially a live gig, so if you've got any requests for him, please get them to us, and he can play some of those. And as I said, this Saturday or next Saturday we've got Philippa Hannah on the programme, so I'm just waiting to hear back from her whether this Saturday is okay, and if so, I will confirm that tomorrow, but that should be a good one as well. So please, guys, stay tuned. Remember, if you want any Christmas cards at all from me, there's only about 40 left, so if you want any of these Christmas cards, which help to communicate the gospel and the message of hope that Jesus brings, but also helps to support me in the ministry as well, please visit my merch page as well. You can also support me on Patreon as well, or join me as a partner in the ministry if you'd like to do that. Anna will give you more details in the link down below. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've been inspired. I hope that you've got something out tonight that blesses you. Good night, God bless, and I will see you tomorrow evening for Matt Kane. All the best.